This is what I'm looking at on the 12th of December 2020 at about 5:45 in the morning. I'm headed towards a place called Nopa and onwards towards Aizwal. Now, the day before yesterday, I was at Loktak Lake, and later in the evening, I wanted to check into a hotel called Hotel Elegance in Moirang. And over the call, they did say that a standard room is available. And when I went there, they did the sanitization of the bike. They sanitized me with some ultraviolet sprays. And later, when I handed over my Aadhaar, he point blank said that we will not be able to give rooms to outsiders. Now that really pissed me off, and I wanted to go to another hotel which was very expensive. That is just over the Loktak Lake. I just stopped by a curb and asked a auto rickshaw fellow, "Bhaiya, यहाँ पे कोई hotel है?" Then he guided me to two, three hotels which I had already checked, and they had either shut down or they did not want to give room. Just then, out of the blue, he said, "Bhaiya, आप मेरे घर में रहना चाहोगे?" I said, why not? Thank you so much." And he led me to his home. He had his very elderly father, a very young daughter, wife. And he said, चलिए हम आपको, आप यहाँ पे सोइए. He had his wife set up a very nice warm bed. And we later had a nice long chit chat over what am I doing and all those topics. And next day morning, I left his place, thanking them for their hospitality, and headed towards the border town of More. I knew the borders are closed, but I still wanted to, make a check-in there and head back towards Aizwal. Now, as I exited Manipur, and there is the border checkpost is Tuwi. I may be pronouncing it wrong. There's a very beautiful bridge, and it was very dark because this region gets dark pretty early in the evening. And I was there by around 4:30ish. I took some pictures, and then as I approached the Mizo border, it was all closed down. Now, it was very clearly mentioned the border is open between 10 to 4. Now, I requested them. They shouted at me to go back. I requested them. They opened the gates. I pushed my bike inside. And for almost half an hour, they just refused to let me in because, one, COVID check people were not there. And they wanted something called the M-Pass, which I was ignorant about. Now, I stood there. They were talking in their local dialect. A very young boy called Sangma. He said that he was from. He looked at my bike and said he's from Aizwal Thunders. I said, "Bhai, aap to biker ho. Can you please help me?" So he started to make some calls, and finally had one person do a rapid test, which came out negative, of course. And he offered me such warm food, and I started to. He said, "But unfortunately, you cannot stay here. The state district officer has refused, permission for you to stay here." I said, "Never mind. I'll go ahead and find a place." Then I climbed about 17 kilometers up from that place. I came to a place called Khawkawn, and I saw a couple of boys walking. I asked them, "भैया, यहाँ पे कहीं homestay वगैरह कुछ होगा?" He said, "आप मेरा घर में रहना चाहोगे तो रह सकते हो." I said, "Wow, I'm in good luck." And then I started to follow him. Everything was appearing very, very normal. And that was at around about 8 in the evening. By 9:30, he comes back with 3 more people, surrounds me at my bed, and then said, "पैसा निकालो." I said, "भैया क्यों?" "नहीं, आपको नहीं तो हम क्वारंटाइन भेजेंगे." "हाँ, मेरे पास सर्टिफिकेट है और मेरे को परमिशन दिया है हेल्थ ऑफिसर ने कि हम जा सकते हैं." "नहीं, हम आपको अभी 2,000 रुपये देना पड़ेगा." And then I felt a threat in his voice. I said, "नहीं भैया, कोई बात नहीं, मैं निकलूंगा यहाँ से." Now, as I started to, pick up my things, went to the bike and loaded my things, one guy out of the blue just took a huge wooden log and started to come and hit me. I said, "रुको, क्यों कर रहा हो? पैसा दो, बाइक का चाबी दो." I said, "नहीं देगा, क्या करेगा?" Then by the roadside, there was another family house which I had observed. He had a Suzuki Maruti Wagon-R which was parked. I went and banged at his door, and I told him, "Dekhiye bhaiya, these guys are trying to hit me." And that guy, it appears that he's a very strong looking guy. He just held that guy by his neck and said, "Aap nikal jao yahan se." And immediately, without looking back, I turned my bike and just sped down towards Khumdungsei. And I met a police car. They stopped by a guy who had a couple of bikes. He spoke to the village task force, and the village task force took me to a quarantine facility in the village and said, like, आप यहाँ पे रह सकते हो, लेकिन आप किसी से मत मिलो. आप कितना बजे निकलोगे यहाँ से? I said, I'll be out by 5:30. And I'm sharp out by 5:30, and this is what I get to see. So that's the story of the road. I mean, there are good and bad things happening. We take it in our stride. It's not that, like, the entire state or the country is bad. There are elements which will make our life a little miserable while on the road. We overlook that, and then, we carry on. And this is what life's all about. Good load of experiences and some strong memories to take back home too. I'm not really sure, like how to put this in words, but a freak connect that happened in Moirang when I was refused a stay in Hotel Elegance in that place after having a breathtaking view of the Loktak lake. Mumu and his family hosted me that evening. And later he did pass on his brother's connect in Aizwal, and insisted that, like, I connect with him and stay with his family. I mean, it was a definite and a hard-hitting request that I just couldn't ignore. His dad is actually having a cancer which they are treating, and I'm hoping that he'll recover soon. But here I am in the beautiful city, capital of Mizoram, Aizwal. And I've been staying with this family, Mr. Abung and his wife, his 2 kids, his sister, a beautiful kid who's just about 6 months as of yesterday. And the hospitality that this family has given me is, I'm not sure whether I can ever repay it back to them in any form or kind. Yeah, that's Bronson, dog lover Bronson. Dog lover. And that's Mr. Abung. And of course here, Nanny. Jet. Yeah, so yes, this is what traveling has given me an opportunity to connect with these beautiful souls. I did tell him about a bad incident that happened just after the border crossing into Mizoram, and these are all very freak and one-off instances, and I really don't want to exaggerate this or put this on the map of a beautiful state of Mizoram. But yes, this is what it is. Let me introduce you to the family really quick. It's exactly the scene that I got when I entered Mizo from Tuiwai. And fortunately, a very young medical officer from Aizwal Thunders was there, and he was able to let me go. Now, COVID is really strict here in Mizo, and fortunately, I've really not had any trouble with these people. And as you can see, he's opened the gates for me to letting me go out into Tripura. It's they've really contained COVID deaths here in Mizo. My friend Abung tells me that they've had hardly about 7 or 8 deaths so far related to COVID, and which is something that has been really nice to hear. And I've seen, we all know about Meghalaya's Mawlinglong, which is supposed to be one of the cleanest villages in our country. But what I've seen is, Shukriya Bhai Sahab, but what I've seen is all the villages, be it Manipur or Mizo, the hygiene levels are absolutely 100%. There's been absolutely no dirt or debris lying across on any of the street side villages, and it's been really nice. I'm now entering Tripura and headed towards Agartala.